Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Jessie.
I'm Nina.
She curated the videos, so I'm just watching.
Today I thought we would go through some highlights of trans women in sports.
I wish I could wear sunglasses like you, because I got mad stoner eyes right now. I'm ready to just...
I didn't feel like wearing makeup today.
I could just smack my head against this counter.
Did you see it?
Not really. Yeah.
So this one's gonna throw it, and this one's gonna get it.
Oh, the chick right...
Oh, behind her, yeah. Wait. Do you hear that? So did you hear her screaming? It damaged her face and knocked her teeth out. And it doesn't look pretty. You ever had tooth pain before? This is like times 1,000.
I had braces and that wasn't comfortable. I can't speak to this. This seems insane. I got hit in the eye with a softball once. That sucked ass. I didn't lose teeth.
It is not fun to have teeth pain. To have them knocked out, to have them not in your mouth anymore, this is bad. I hope they sue. I hope her parents sue the shit out of somebody, because that is going to cost, a lot of money.
I got hit in the face with a cell phone before, and I'd say that was probably pretty comparable to this. Not teeth, but definitely got facial damage. I broke my nose and had to have corrective surgery done because the actual bone shattered. That hurt like a bitch. My parents were talking about suing them because it happened at school. And it was a friend of mine who was holding my phone that threw it towards me. He was just dumb.
People will be a little divided on this incident. What I'm assuming the opposing people would say is that if it was a girl who threw it and hit her in the face, it would have done the same amount of damage. What's the difference?
What did I just say?
What did you just say?
The guy who threw my phone whacked me in the nose and broke it. He was like a good 25 feet away from me, but he threw my phone overhand like an idiot, and it hit me in the bridge of my nose and threw my glasses off. And that's why I had to have surgery to pull out the bone shrapnel that fucking threw off. When a guy does something, intentional or not, he was one of my best friends. It can cause damage.
Yeah, I don't think men understand their own strength when it comes to women, but that's because most men don't fight women or compete against women, so they don't really understand their strength against women. They only understand their strength against men. When this kind of stuff happens, it's a wake-up call, like, hey, this is not good. This could be, like, I'm waiting for to happen to one of these female players because they didn't want to be shamed if they pulled out of the competition or said no to competing against trans women.
Yeah.
You're putting women in a very dangerous and sticky position.
Here's the thing. The guy that threw my phone, he's the skinniest, gayest man, and he still managed to bust my nose with a phone. So I'm not surprised that her teeth and her face are messed up.
I would say any guy who's in middle school or up should not be competing.
Be careful
with women because he's so dangerous.
Well,
I mean, they separate us in gym class for a reason, right?
No, they don't.
We don't. What?
When I got hit in the neck with a roller hockey ball,
they let you.
That was against a dude. A dude slap shot it. And
they let you compete against guys
mixed
in high school.
In high school,
that is so fucked up. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. It's fucked up.
They should have their own league. People who are trans, in my opinion.
No one will sign up. They already tried that with the swimming. No one signed up.
That's not my fault nor my problem.
Why aren't these guys saying, I don't feel comfortable competing against women. I'm afraid I'm going to hurt someone.
They'll get a 0.
Who the fuck is running this bullshit? I mean, look at Laurel Hubbard, 43, became the first transgender person to be selected to compete in blah, blah, blah.
The Olympics. Yeah.
In 2012, she transitioned.
Jesus. Yeah.
Christmas in heaven.
Her selection sparked upset as some claimed she took the place over a 21-year-old. 21-year-old, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the rules that would allow them... Yeah, they changed the testosterone rules then after that. Leah Thomas, we all know about.
Mm-hmm. It's
people are using the guise of feminism to push transphobic behavior and from competing.
What did I say? They always use black women as their shield, as their comeback. It is not the same. A black woman and a man who thinks he's a woman are not the same.
Mara Yamauchi slammed,
for
Yeah.
competing in this category.
calling it wrong.
Calling it wrong. And definitely unfair.
Yeah. Well, at least she offered to give it back. But quite it. We know about Fallon Fox.
That's false.
It wasn't openly.
She was not openly. Her first
It just said,
competitor.
although she was not out publicly, they claimed that they knew. Although she was not out publicly when breaking out in the sport, licensing commissions knew she was trans.
So the licensing commission knew, but
But
just
the
didn't tell the
competitors didn't?
competitors. Okay.
Which one's worse?
They're both very fucked up. She even fights like a man. I mean, she fights like a man. If you've ever watched MMA and you watch two females compete and two males compete, the fighting, the moving, technique, it's all different. Women have to worry about most of the time long hair. You got to worry about our tits. Men have to worry about their nuts. We don't have to worry about that. So a lot of things are going to be different when they fight. So you can obviously see that this was a dude fighting a girl. And it's very sad. It's a very sad state of affairs.
This is the most convincing one yet. Like, looks-wise.
Looks-wise, yeah. Not bad.
Tiffany Thomas, 46, a transgender cyclist who is ranked as an elite rider by USA Cyclists.
And the girls on the podium next to the trans woman are all celebrating. And I think this is like a perfect picture to really show people what's going on. And we've seen other podium pictures like that where the trans woman is in first, just giant, next to these smaller framed individuals we like to call females, who are happy, smiling, and celebrating the win of a biological man against them. I worry for the intelligence of the female species because we have gotten so empathetic, sympathetic, and accepting that we are actually giving away opportunities, money, our spaces, our safety to
The name of women.
biological men who have a mental thing where they think they're women. That's the only difference, is that they're an individual with a penis who thinks they're a woman. That's the only difference. Physically, there is no difference from a male. In the year 2023, we have gone backwards. More women are going to college, but getting into more debt and being told how to think.
Women have always been more complacent. And the thing is, a lot of women make face, even if they're not happy with it. She could be pissed.
If she's just
That
fake
could be
smiling?
a forced smile. And the thing with women is you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell just from looking, because they do it often. So I don't know how they really feel. However, I think it's important to have actual people speak about how they feel. When it comes to Leah Thomas, we know about how her teammates felt. When it comes to the women in that field hockey tournament, we can tell how the lady that got her face hit felt. It's clearly dangerous with contact sports, and it's clearly unfair with no contact sports. So if you're a man, just accept the fact you can't compete with women, whether or not you want to be a woman.
So if we can split wrestling into 10 categories, and that becomes the wrestling match.
But all men against each other.
Correct. So,
Okay,
so
again,
now, I get
sort
that.
of key point.
Okay. Okay. So all I'm saying is, what is it that makes the man the man? Is it the hormones? Okay.
Okay.
If it's the hormones and you...
The penis makes a man a man.
The larger frame.
Can you change those things? Because it's not hormone levels. Do you think when we were cavemen, we were like, hormone level,
No, I don't think we were saying that.
Or do you think we were like, inside, nice. Like that was about it. They didn't even know what to call it.
Call what?
Penises.
Oh.
Women were like, that's a penis? Ah, cool. Great. They didn't really have a name for it. I'm just saying, you didn't walk up to your potential partner and go, your testosterone's a little off.
Good point.
Thank you. What makes
No,
a man
sorry.
a man? The
Sometimes.
hormones?
Oh. Well, no. Well,
Yeah, we gotta
you have
pass
to
down-
really take in what he's saying, okay, in order to change your mind. He's a scientist for the stars.
decide to give yourself a different cocktail of hormones, I'm making this up, by
Why
the way.
would you- but-
I'm not saying it should happen this way. It's a way to start thinking
Okay,
about it.
it would be-
maybe the track meets have hormone categories.
And maybe giving yourself the wrong hormones is deleterious to your health. Would you not admit that? Do you think we can just safely do things like this?
So you feel this way because you're so deeply concerned about the health of the people who are trying to find their place on the gender spectrum? You care about their health so much that you don't want them to go through that?
It's not something that keeps me.
Of them and the people they're competing with. Accidents happen.
They want us to believe what they say, not what we see.
Bill made a great point. It's delirious to think that putting hormones in your body is going to be healthy for you. And that's Bill Maher. He's very left-wing.
You care about their health so much that you don't want them to go through that?
It's not something that keeps me up at night, but when the subject comes up, I care about them like I care about all people. So if there is something...
You do, by the way. You think about all people.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh, okay. You're being
You think
sincere.
about all people. No, I'm being
Yeah, I
sincere.
do. Yes. Yeah. Old school liberal.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want all people to have, make this very challenging world that we live in better. So that's why there's honest debate about this issue.
Pretty much what Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying is that we should separate sports.
Hormonally. Everyone's got to piss and everyone's got to get stuck with a needle.
I think what he means is yeah.
Yeah. You don't go off of hormone levels. That is the most idiotic thing I've heard.
Hormone levels don't change the structure of a man's body. It doesn't change the size of his heart and lungs. It doesn't change the size of his limbs, hands, and feet, cranium, to such a degree that it wouldn't be dangerous if he were to compete against a woman. It really does not change much about a man's physique and his ability to dominate and potentially harm a woman he's competing against.
What affects only the third set of characteristics you get as a woman or a man. The hormone changes, it just increases the size of things that you wouldn't have. If you don't have breasts, you have larger breasts all of a sudden. If you're a woman, your little pea could become the size of a thumb. And it sounds really uncomfortable. Women lose their hair. What's the negative side effects for men?
Well, I haven't really heard any.
Yeah, that's why I said, what's the negative side effects for men?
Men on estrogen?
They become emotional, I guess.
I've heard of that. Oh, and apparently they have period
Crohn's.
cramps.
They get
Yes,
Crohn's.
They get Crohn's. Yes. They get the shits and then they think they have period cramps.
My name is Skyler Baylor. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the first transgender athlete to compete for a Division I men's team in college. I swam all 4 years on the men's team at Harvard, and I'm also an advocate for inclusion.
Honestly, I can't believe that I'm here today.
To share what it means to be transgender, what it's like to be a
No, I don't care about that. I want the myths and stuff.
pretend to be a woman so that he can win women's sports, and I don't want that to happen. No man trying to boost his ego or feel better about himself is going to think that he's going to do that by winning women's sports. I mean,
Yeah, they do.
Wow, you don't know people, do you? No man? Did he just say no man? So he's just generalizing all of them.
No,
Aren't going to
man,
be like
because
that.
they're a trans woman. And a trans woman is a woman.
Oh, gotcha.
It's an self-eating circle.
sports. I mean, do people know anything about toxic masculinity? If you are afraid of cisgender men masquerading as women to win women's sports, you are afraid of cisgender men, not trans women.
What'd I just say? What'd I just say? What did I say?
Oh my God. That is amazing. Bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo. You got me. You got me, honey.
Because a trans woman is a woman. So
Wow.
if you're scared of that, then you're just
Wow.
scared of men.
Dude.
I will
You're
take
right. Yeah.
my participation.
Transgender women are men. We let him keep talking.
What is a woman? A woman is someone who identifies as a woman.
Listen, if you are afraid of men masquerading around as women, you're afraid of men, not transgender women, who are men also.
I mean, you're right, but you're missing the part where they're still gonna pretend.
You're really speaking for your entire community that they're all angels and saints?
You don't think that there's some really messed up people out Buffalo Billing it up there?
Oh, yeah, I know for a fact there's a lot of fucked up lesbians. Eileen Moore knows. Hey!
I can tell you there's a lot of fucked up lesbians. Why do you
Well, why
think
can't you say there are fucked up people in your group?
they want to be special?
When something sounds too good to be true, you know what it is? Too good to be true.
Here's my crown,
It ain't real.
and I am special.
So special.
Now, I know what you're thinking.
She has bigger lungs, bigger arms, bigger hands, and now she's competing against women who don't have that.
The first thing I want you to recognize is that biological diversity exists everywhere, within every demographic.
They're just gonna say that you can have a 6 foot tall woman and you can have a 6 foot tall man, and those should be equal in your eyes. That's scary.
We've tried it. They lost.
The U.S.
They
soccer
lost.
team lost to the boys team.
The
wasn't
U.S.
it?
women's soccer team lost to like a
The
high school.
boys team.
But because, they're about the same size, it's fair, right? So should we just do everything based on weight? Do you know what would happen if we actually did that? Women wouldn't be competing in barely anything.
It's because the teenage boys had more hormones.
Oh, you got me again.
I could go back to the left if I needed to.
You got me again, damn ya.
Including within cisgender women and cisgender men. When biological differences exist within the men's category,
I would like for them to answer this. Why is it that more women get than men? If a man is the same size and weight, or even smaller, how is it that he's able to overpower her and rape her? And why is it so prevalent against women and not against men? They all come in different shapes and sizes, and yet women can barely ever fight back. Regardless if the man thinks he's from Kokomo or if he thinks he's a panda bear or a woman. I don't care what the man thinks he is. It does not change who he is and his physical structure and strength. He's going to be able to rape that woman.
It was intense. It got intense so fast.
I know
it's true.
sorry, it's true. I've watched enough stories where women are telling their stories about being raped. I've heard how hard they fought, really hard, fighting back, and it just doesn't work. And they try and they try and they try and they try. And I'm just my fucking heart just... And then I hear these people saying this, and I'm like, you've never been... Have you? Because if you have, you would know that it's not that easy to be a woman and fight back against a guy who's even smaller than you. I want this bullshit gone, because this is so dangerous for women. And they have no idea. They're just walking around blindly listening because they're so empathetic. You can feel bad to the point where you can be killed. You gotta get your head out of your ass, ladies.
exists within the men's category, we usually celebrate these things. In fact, we almost always do.
Michael Phelps stands 6'4" with enormous wingspan of 6'7".
12-inch handspan is big for someone 10 feet tall.
When Henry gets in the open field, he can build up the same momentum as a wrecking ball, swinging at about 5 miles per hour.
It's all adoration. It is all celebration. But when we look at the women's category, these biological differences are not always celebrated, especially when a woman does not fit what people think, quote, a woman should look like, what her body should be, how it should perform.
Scoring that they have given to Biles undervalues her signature moves, which no other gymnast has ever performed before.
There's this bias there against her.
If you are too masculine, if you are too strong.
Caster Semenya,
He's saying that when men are out of the average, we celebrate it. When women are, we don't.
Yes, we do.
That's where he's wrong. He's saying because he managed to pull these clips. We don't talk about how it's great that women have big hands for basketball. I'm sure they do. I don't watch basketball, but I'm sure if you were into women's basketball, you'd be like...
We don't talk about women's big hands when it comes to basketball. We talk about Simone Biles all the time. She's strong, she's competitive, she works hard, she's very talented. But we don't need to talk about her big feet or her short stoutness. Bad. This is a bad argument.
This is because people say it's an unfair advantage because they're bigger. And this is where this comes into play. That's what they're saying.
So they're trying to do...
Confuse you.
So wait. So they're trying... Wait, what are they trying to do?
Punished for being too fast and not conforming to Western standards of what a female athlete should look like.
Especially when a woman is black or brown.
She made history when she won 21 Grand Slams, her 6th at Wimbledon, but people didn't seem to notice that. They seemed to notice her shape.
Referred to Serena and Sister Venus as the Williams brothers.
Essentially racist tropes to depict Serena Williams.
Or maybe also transgender.
CeCe Telfer is a very large human being. How tall do you think this person is? Closing in on 6 feet, probably? CeCe Telfer won the women's 400-meter hurdles at the NCAA Division II championship. I wonder why.
These attacks are actually riddled with racism, with transphobia, with sexism, and with misogyny.
I still don't understand what the point of that was.
You want to say it's different because of size? You're racist. Because you could have a really short Hispanic lady or a really tall black lady, which is the same as a tall black guy, so you're racist.
What? I'm so confused. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Like, a really short Hispanic lady is not going to be able to beat a tall Hispanic lady in basketball. That's why we don't see short Hispanic ladies in basketball. We would only see a tall Hispanic lady.
They're saying,
we're talking about Hispanic ladies.
They're saying, what's the difference if that's a trans woman?
So he's trying to say that there is no difference between a 6-foot-tall woman and a 6-foot-tall man.
And that if you think that they're different, you're racist and homophobic.
Well, I go back to
your concern is actually just misplaced fear.
Okay, so they really don't want women to...
They don't want them to compete.
Like I said, 6-foot man, 6-foot woman, same height, same size, same hands, same feet, same ethnicity. They're the same. No, they're not. Because you know what? I go back to the race theory. Why is it that small men can still rape bigger women?
Men are stronger. You're going to enjoy this one.
Trying to trigger me. Sorry, Amala. I want to be like you because you sound all articulate and stuff. Wait. But the Italian me just gets so fired up and angry, and I just want to explode. There are people like Amala Epnobi out there. She's very, very articulate, calm, collected, has her thoughts together, and me, I'm just a bumbling, screaming Italian who's just going off about shit. But you know what? It's good to have differences with women. These kind of
what
differences.
What do you think I do here?
You would have to say your piece about yours. I said I'm a crazy Italian woman who screams.
I think I'm just an overly tired Hispanic next person.
A lot of people say that banning trans girls from girls' sport is about protecting girls. But is it?
Oh.
You know why? You know why? Because trans girls are girls, and you're not protecting them. You see, I know every single one of these is gonna be, but you're wrong, and you're a fool. You're the problem. You have bigotry inside you, and how dare you? It's not bigotry. Look at the chick whose teeth got smashed in. I had to have nose surgery. You're not protecting anyone by letting trans people participate in girls' sports.
No. The reality is that when you try to exclude transgender girls from girls' sport, you have to know which ones are trans, which means you have to test them. And most states are proposing genital testing, gender verification tests, and body examinations. At what point is a girl too tall to be accused of being not girl enough, to be accused of being transgender? At what point is a girl too strong or her...
Were they trying to say that if women are big, that they're men?
Yeah.
Because the media makes fun of them for being masculine because they're athletic? That's
racist. And fat phobic. Big bone phobic.
To use your own words against you.
From girls' sport, you have to know which ones are trans, which means you have to test them. And most states are proposing genital testing, gender verification tests, and body examinations.
Wait, what?
At what point is a girl too tall to be accused of being not girl?
Transgender women are only women who are too good at being women, so now they must become men? They've already completed all the courses in womanhood, so now they get to graduate to manhood.
They want to trans us. They want to trans butch ladies.
Yes.
They're athletic women. That's gross.
Yes.
Ew, no.
You're too masculine. You might be trans.
That's why I was always saying, if I grew up today, they'd be trying to trans my little lesbian tomboy ass.
I might have been convinced, except I really am happy being a woman.
I would have been pissed.
What's happening is we are legally enforcing what a girl's body can look like and how a girl's body can perform in order for her to...
Just don't let them have penises. You didn't do really good and accidentally grow a penis. Like, I don't understand.
That woman is a great athlete. She must be a man.
She's got big hands, big feet, big... She's got a big Adam's apple.
Maybe she has giantism.
What's happening is we are legally enforcing what a girl's body can look like and how a girl's body can perform in order for her to play sports. This legal enforcement of policing of girls' bodies is what will destroy the women's category.
I see what they're trying to do.
Are you are you mansplaining to me right now because you are trans man and now explaining woman stuff, but trans man is man, so you explaining women's stuff equals mansplaining.
They're trying to take our logic and spin it to make us believe that if we don't see trans women as women and let them play in sports, that somehow we are going against women. Like we are suppressing ourselves.
In order for her to play sports. This legal enforcement of policing of girls' bodies is what will destroy the women's category, not the...
Legal enforcing of women's bodies. But we're not talking about women's bodies. We're talking about men.
Trans women.
Yeah, so you're trying to make us think that we are being oppressed by not letting trans women compete with us. Do you think women are that stupid to believe this? They really believe that we're so stupid that we can't use our own logic to
piece this one together,
to debunk this. I mean, just use general logic and you can debunk this immediately. I've never seen a transgender activist, or just a gender activist, non-binary, whatever, debate against someone with a logical brain and win. I mean, they say they win.
Yeah, they say a lot of things. It's like you gotta do a math equation. Trans woman equals woman. Therefore, woman equals this. But if you fall outside woman, then you must be trans. And then if woman is woman that's trans, then woman is woman. It's like you need to calm down.
If a trans woman is a woman, then a woman is a trans woman, then a woman has a penis?
Inclusion of transgender girls. Lots of people who claim to care about fairness in women's sports never watch the WNBA.
Yes, I have.
Don't care about the pay gap between women athletes and are doing nothing to stop the sexual assault of women athletes around the world. There are...
Honey, that's a very broad statement.
What are you doing?
To make. And this is how I know you've never talked to someone outside of your little bubble. Because if you have, you would know that we're out here. The YouTube algorithm just doesn't like us very much because we're loud and proud and women with vaginas.
Well, one of us is loud. We're both proud, and we definitely both have vaginas, I've checked.
So, I'm sorry we have to cut it off here, but we do because my camera's going to overheat. Sony Alpha 6500 overheats like a bitch.
Like,
subscribe,
comment, subscribe, ring my bell, send us an email if you have content for us to react to, or just want to say something. The email's thepanicbutton@gmail.
Isn't it the Panic Button Podcast?
No, thepanicbutton@gmail.
Okay.
Double check real quick. Hang on.
I'll wait. Because one of them is the Panic Button Podcast.
I think we couldn't get into the one, so we made the other.
Edit.
It is the Panic Button Podcast. She was correct.
I knew it. It's the Panic Button Podcast at gmail.com.